So let's start. LangFlow run. What we are going to do now is creating a flow for RAG absolutely on-premise. So for this reason, we will need LLM Studio and LangFlow. So I will use LLM Studio. I will go here to the developer. I will load the most tiny model Llama 3.2 with 1 billion parameters. You can adjust the parameters here if you want more GPU, CPU, whatever. This is okay. Load model. Everything is fine. Status here is running, which means that we can use these endpoints. So now an LLM is running locally. If I switch off internet, it will continue to run. Hello, write a program in Python for finding prime numbers. Here it is. It's great. Absolutely great. So Llama 3.2 with just 1 billion parameters and about 1.3.4 gigabytes is, as you can see, more than great. So let's go and open now LangFlow. So the default URL is this 127.0.0.1. port 7860/flows. So new flow, I will select this basic prompting, and here we are. So this is the very simple default basic prompting with an OpenAI model, but as I said, we will do something different. We will create RAG locally. So I will delete this. I will delete this. I will keep the chat input. I will keep the chat output. I will also delete this. And remember, the first thing that I want is to input data. So I will go to data. You can either select to import a file, or if you want, you can choose here the directory. So here, recursively load files from a directory. I will create a new directory in C. Here it is, C, new folder, LLM PDF. Here it is. So here the path is C LLM PDF, and I will load, choose an option, I will load PDF files. You can select more than one if you have more than one. Extensions, I want only the PDF files, and if you have multiple subfolders, then you can change the depth. It is the depth to search for files. Okay. Remember the presentation. The first thing is to load the files, and then we want to split text, trying to keep all related text together. So I will go and select here recursive character text splitter. This is what I want. Split text, trying to keep all related text together. So I will take the data from there and put it here as input. Okay, this is it. This is the first step to load the files. Okay, so I loaded the files, but at the same time, remember the third step is to generate embeddings. So I will write here embeddings, and there is an option for LLM Studio embeddings, exactly what I am using. Everything is correct. Just to select the model. So I will click this refresh button. Now there is a connection between LangFlow and LLM Studio. And here I can see what I have downloaded. So Llama 3.2, 1 billion instruct. And the other is the model, the embedding model that I have downloaded. So if you go here, you can download this nomic embed text. In my case, I have downloaded this text embedded nomic embed text version 1.5. So this is it. This is downloaded, just 84 megabytes. And this is what I'm going to use here as embedding. So I have this embeddings model. And now the only thing that I want is the fourth step, which is to load the data after splitting them, after using this embeddings model to a vector database. And for local purposes, ChromaDB is absolutely great. So I will take ChromaDB, I will drag it and drop it here. And now I have two things. The first is to take the data, so connect these two lines. And the second is to use the embeddings. So you see, it is very easy to understand what you have to do. So here, what we need is also the persist directory. So we have to define another directory where we will keep our data. I will go back and I will create another directory. I will select again C, but you can choose whatever you want, ChromaDB. So this is it. I will go back and type it here. So now it is ready. Okay, this is the first step, which is to load data. Now I will go to the second step, which is to create the retriever. Okay, so here I am, the second step, a totally different use case. Here I have chat input. Now I want to use ChromaDB. So if you click here, you can duplicate the content. Okay, I want to use again the same instance, exactly the same. So the same collection name, remember it is like the database name. I will take this message and I want to search in this ChromaDB. But do not forget that I need always an embedding. This is a vector database, which means that all the text is converted to arithmetic representations. So I will go here to LLM Studio Embeddings and I will click again. So in the retrieval, I want the same model to be used. So I will select this embedding. Now I want the result to be parsed. So I will write here parse data. And I will select the result here, the data frame. So I will select this parse data frame, convert a data frame into plain text following a specified template. Each column data frame is treated as possible template key. So I will select this data frame here. And then I want the final result of the text to be given to a prompt. So I will go here and write prompt. Here it is, create a prompt template with dynamic variables. I will go here to the template and I will write, this is the context. And I will give the context. This is the variable. I will give the context. So you see here, prompt variables is a context. And then I will go back and I will say, I will give specific directions. Okay, be based only on the context and answer like a pirate. If you do not find the answer to the context, then say grr, I do not know the answer. And finally, I want the prompt. So I want the question to be integrated into this template. So I will write here question. So I have two different prompt variables. The initial context, which is what I have retrieved from the ChromaDB, and the question variable, which will be the final prompt. So now you see something very interesting. I have here two connection points, one for the context and one is the question. So now what we can do, I will take this and give it as a context, which is the result from the ChromaDB, and the question is the initial chat input, the initial prompt. So I will take this and put it also here. So here it is, the final prompt template. Now what I want is use my LLM. So I will go back. Where is my LLM? Here I used LM Studio Embeddings. Now I want to find LM Studio in order to generate text using LM Studio local LLMs. Okay, so let's go here. LM Studio. I will take the prompt message, put it here as input, and finally the final message, give it as output. So this is it. But here I haven't selected the model, so I will select it and I will select Llama 3.2 1 billion instruct. This is what I want. The temperature here means how generative I want to be. So if you give here a high number, it will try to generate things to be not so strict to what we have given, but generate things on its own. Okay, so I will try it now without loading anything to check if I give something specific, if it will answer. So, hello, let's see what we have done, send. Let's go to LM Studio. Here it is, let's go back. So it loaded the Llama 3.2, it loaded the embeddings model, and now in the logs, we can see that there is everything loaded, request received to embed multiple hello, and now it will start answering.